Get ready to dive into a story filled with mysteries, tragedies, and hidden secrets. This is not just another chapter in history, it's a disturbing account that makes us question what really happened in the lives of Barbara Daley Baekeland and her son, Tony Baekeland. The tragedy began when Barbara was just 11 years old, with the mysterious death of her father. Was it an accident or a desperate act? This question hung in the air, casting a shadow over the family and initiating a sequence of events that no one could predict. A career in Hollywood, a marriage to a wealthy heir of the Baekeland family. It seemed like the fairy tale that everyone would envy. But secrets and lies permeated this seemingly perfect union. Welcome to the Criminal Chronicles. If you're fascinated by inexplicable mysteries and intriguing challenges, this is the right place for you. Welcome to another video full of sinister puzzles and stories that will captivate you from start to finish. If you love unraveling intriguing cases and diving into mysterious narratives, don't waste any time and join us right now. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any details of the mysteries we're going to explore together from now on. And of course, if you can hit that like button early in the video, know that it makes all the difference so I can continue bringing engaging content to you. Let's dive headfirst into another intriguing journey. Let's go. Barbara Daley Baekeland came into the world in 1922 in the city of Boston, in the United States. She shared her childhood with a brother named Frank, in a family that was considered middle class at the time. However, at the age of 11, Barbara's destiny took an unexpected turn when tragedy struck her family. Her father, who worked in the financial sector, was found lifeless inside a car. Investigators determined that his death was due to inhaling toxic gas emitted by the vehicle's engine. The cause of her father's death sparked controversy, with some people arguing that it was a tragic accident, while others suggested that he had taken this action intentionally because he could no longer support the family and believed that taking his own life was the only way out. Regardless of the reason, this tragedy resulted in a considerable sum of money for Nine, Barbara's mother, who chose to move to New York with her children. Nine intended to marry again someone wealthy and conveyed this idea to her daughter as an ideal to strive for. During her adolescence, Barbara gained recognition as one of the 10 most beautiful girls in New York, which led to modeling opportunities in prominent magazines of the time, such as Vogue and Rapper's Bazaar. However, her mental health was already declining during this period, and that's why Barbara sought treatment with therapists and psychiatrists in secret, as any form of such treatment could tarnish a person's reputation, especially a celebrity in that era. Years later, Barbara decided to pursue an acting career and moved to California. However, her stay in Hollywood was brief because she didn't adapt to the environment and preferred to return to New York. Although she didn't achieve success in the movies, it was there that she met Cornelia, a young heiress from the wealthy Baekeland family in the United States. The Baekelands held the patent for Bakelite plastic, a sturdier and dimensionally stable variant of plastic. This material was used in a variety of essential products such as toothbrush handles, mugs, automotive components, telecommunication devices, computers, and more. Cornelia introduced Barbara to her brother, Brooks Baekeland, who was at the time training to become a pilot in the Royal Canadian Air Force. Barbara and Brooks began a relationship, and Barbara was about to become the wife of a wealthy man. However, Brooks had reservations about the marriage due to Barbara's emotional instability. When Brooks decided to end the relationship, Barbara revealed surprising news. She was pregnant. A hasty marriage was arranged before her pregnancy became evident, as society at the time expected couples to marry before having children. Thus, in the early 1940s, Barbara officially became a Baekeland. However, what was supposed to be the beginning of a perfect life quickly deteriorated when the truth came to light. Barbara was never actually pregnant, which infuriated Brooks. Nevertheless, they did not immediately divorce, as this was socially unacceptable at the time. Their relationship never recovered. Years later, in the mid-1940s, Barbara became pregnant for real and gave birth to her only child, Anthony Baekeland, known as Tony, on August 28, 1946. During Tony's childhood, the family decided to move to Europe, largely due to Barbara's tarnished reputation in New York. She struggled with alcoholism, excessive dramatic behavior, frequent anger outbursts, and emotional crises, often in public. In 1956, when Tony was 10, the family was living in Paris, and their marital problems became evident to the public. Brooks became romantically involved with a younger woman, which led Barbara to seek a divorce. In a desperate act, she attempted to take her own life, causing Brooks to reconsider the divorce. However, instability within the home in the following years led Tony, at the age of 18, to distance himself from his parents and seek independence with friends. Tony finally found the freedom to express his sexual orientation and discovered that he was homosexual. He also began using drugs, and during this time he met a special partner with whom he moved to Italy to keep their relationship away from the family, who would not accept his sexuality at the time, which was around 1965. Barbara and Brooks had moved again, now residing in Switzerland. However, rumors about Tony's life in Italy reached Barbara, who was furious at the idea of having a gay son. Additionally, Tony suffered from schizophrenia, but sadly, due to his family's social standing, he never received proper treatment. At times, Tony displayed arrogance, rudeness, and aggression. Psychiatric care was clearly needed for him. Barbara's controlling behavior gradually eroded her son's mental health. Tony exhibited increasing instability, threatening his mother with knives, and even attempting to suffocate or push her in front of cars during moments of crisis. However, from Barbara's perspective, all these behaviors were attributed to her son's supposed homosexuality. She believed that Tony's aggressiveness was linked to him not finding the right partner. In her marriage to Brooks, Barbara also strayed and had several lovers who praised her performance in bed. It was then that she came to the conclusion that if she maintained intimate relations with Tony at his peak, it would cure him. This happened not once, not twice, but several times. Barbara constantly tried to involve Tony in intimate relationships, sometimes even including her own partners in threesome situations. This scenario left Tony deeply traumatized, to the point of believing that he couldn't break free from his mother without resorting to drastic measures to eliminate the root of the problem. This is how, on November 17, 1972, at the age of 26, Tony took his mother's life, who was 52 years old, using a kitchen knife. The police were called by one of the maids, and when investigators arrived at the crime scene, they found Tony still holding the knife and placing an order for Chinese food on the phone, as if nothing had happened. At the police station, Tony confessed that he and his mother had argued over a friend he had invited for dinner, but Barbara had refused to authorize it. The argument escalated into a heated and violent confrontation, with Tony assaulting his mother, who ran to the kitchen where the incident occurred. Tony did not deny anything and claimed that he was sick, suffering from psychotic episodes since forever. However, he had never received medical treatment out of fear that it would damage the family's reputation. Furthermore, he shared details of the physical abuse committed by his mother. Barbara's body was cremated, and her ashes were sent to her mother, 9, in New York. At the trial, Tony was represented by a lawyer who requested his extradition back to the United States for treatment. However, the request was denied. In the end, Tony was found guilty, but due to severe diagnosed mental disorders, he was sent to Broadmoor, a psychiatric hospital in the United Kingdom. Tony's grandmother, 9, had a more compassionate understanding of her grandson's issues. Her perspective was crucial in garnering support to bring Tony back to the United States. 9 deeply loved her grandson and believed that under her supervision, he could lead a normal and happy life. On the other hand, his father, Brooks, was against this idea and advocated for his son's incarceration. He refused to accept a homosexual and mentally troubled son, even describing him as a criminal. In 1980, 9's contacts managed to secure Tony's release from England, with the condition that he would be under her care, even though she was 87 years old at the time. This decision infuriated Brooks, who tried to reverse his son's release, convinced that Tony could commit new murders due to his instability. However, Tony was released, took a plane to the United States, and moved in with his grandmother. In the early days after his arrival in New York, Tony erected a peculiar shrine in honor of his mother and prayed daily before her ashes. 9 interpreted this behavior as a sign of remorse and redemption. However, just 6 days after his arrival, an argument with his grandmother over a phone call to England led him to grab a knife from the kitchen and stab her 8 times. When the police arrived at the apartment, Tony complained to the officers that the cleaning hadn't been easy. With bitterness, he added that, due to his grandmother's advanced age, it would have been kinder to end it all at once. Tony was arrested, and this time sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Less than a year after the crime, and weeks after his imprisonment, on March 20th, 1981, Tony was found dead. His death was hushed up by the media, and to this day, it is not known whether he took his own life or if someone else did. In 2007, Barbara and Tony's story was adapted for the cinema in the film Savage Grace, in which actress Julianne Moore portrayed Barbara. The film was well received, but many consider it a work of fiction that does not accurately depict the facts, being more of an artistic expression than a biographical representation. And thus we conclude another fascinating dive into the shadows of the world of crimes and mysteries. If you were intrigued by the twists, puzzles, and engaging narratives that we explored here on the Criminology Chronicles channel, don't miss the chance to join us on this ongoing journey. Subscribe right now to the channel so you won't miss any electrifying episodes to come. Every case, every detail meticulously investigated, depends on your support to continue happening. Leave your like, because that's what motivates us to keep bringing you quality content and thorough investigations. Comments are also essential. Share your theories, opinions, and ideas. Your participation makes this community even richer and full of energy to unravel the most complex criminal mysteries. Remember, producing videos as engaging as this is a challenge, but with your support, we can continue to explore the stories that stir our investigative instincts. So don't waste any time. If you're not already part of this passionate community of mystery and crime enthusiasts, click the subscribe button, activate notifications, and leave your mark in the comments and likes. Together, we will uncover the deepest secrets of the criminal underworld. Until the next video, detectives.